Welcome back to Ghoster Coasters, everybody. We're right in the middle of park season. We've gotten all the first rider reactions from new rides across the industry this past season, such as Wildcat's Revenge, Pipeline the Surf Coaster, and of course, Airy Force One.
We're all amped up on potential coaster rumors for 2024, with Dorney Park getting its first coaster in almost 15 years, and Cedar Point's Top Thrill Dragster reimagining project as well. There's also Giga rumors outside the Cedar Fair chain at Six Flags Magic Mountain that have people speculating. And could Knott's Berry Farm finally get a Giga coaster? Let's get into these way early 2025 coaster predictions across the US and Canada here, folks. Taking a trip over to Cedar Point on the peninsula first, obviously with the reimagining project of 2024 with Top Thrill Dragster. I don't necessarily see them getting a roller coaster the following year. That'd be kind of crazy. I know Wild Mouse just happened and then Dragster's going to happen, but
Yeah,
very different circumstances there.
definitely.
Standing but not operating coaster just being refurbished and stuff. That's very different than two full-scale projects being done back-to-back years. And obviously, they put a lot of money into Dragster at this point, I'm assuming as well, even though they may have taken the cheaper bid with Zamperla. We don't know. But I don't see them getting a coaster for 2025. How do you feel about that?
I don't see them getting a coaster either. I mean, I'm sure Dragster was not on the agenda, but I think it really put a damper on what may have been coming.
Yeah, I
Put
definitely
it on
agree.
a back burner.
So moving forward with future assets and whatnot, I think Cedar Fair is probably going to focus on their following two premier parks in the chain, and that would be Kings Island and Carowinds. So
Yes.
why don't we move on over to Kings Island and discuss that?
Their last coaster was Orion in 2020, and I really do think that this park needs a little bit of love and a really good coaster, like big time.
Yeah, it'd be cool to see. I mean, obviously they just had Adventureport put in 2023 here, so they are getting the love, but I know what you mean by like an absolute premier ride, which, kind of begs the question, where will they put it? Because they have plenty of spots they could do it. The old Son of Beast plot, I know it's kind of taken up by Banshee, but obviously there's been work over there and some, subtle teasers, I guess you could call them, in Adventure Express. Other people say they're not, but take that as you will. And then obviously we have that big empty plot over there by the Beast, the old Vortex plot, which they
Right.
could do. And then there's also been tons of rumors of an entrance coaster. And then I've also heard that Kings Island management likes the entrance and doesn't want to do like an entrance coaster. So who knows there, but what could we possibly see? All right, I'll ask this. What do you want to see at the park next before we say what they need?
I would like to see Invertigo go and have a nice little coaster right there at the front.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, what kind of coaster would you like to see? I think Invertigo going would be ideal for me, just because I don't like it very much, and it's in a
Right.
prime location in that action zone, and that needs an update. But what would you like to see there?
Ooh, I don't know, like maybe something on Maverick kind of.
I like it, like a launch coaster, like a Copperhead Strike,
Yeah.
Intamin coaster, so
Absolutely.
a Mach or a Intamin.
Even maybe something with the JoJo roll, because
Yeah, that'd be
there
pretty
is
cool.
no really good JoJo roll like that in Ohio.
Yeah,
right
that'd be
now.
sweet. So that's definitely something I would like to see. Maybe an SNS 4D, that'd be pretty cool. One of them free spins, or an Axis, that'd be pretty cool.
That
but
would be too.
I don't know if Cedar Fair's quite, ready for that, prototype yet, but that'd be pretty cool at Kings Island because they can afford it and they have the capacity at the park. So, I mean, a prototype going there for testing would make sense because, people would eat it up and they already have the capacity to kind of afford a risk. So, that's something I would like to see there. I think they definitely need a launch coaster, though. So, I mean, I'm kind of with you. Like, bring in Mach or bring in Intamin, do something like that. Or, I mean, shoot, if Zamperla knocks out this whole Top Thrill Dragster thing, I mean, we may have a whole nother company we're talking about here. But personally, Vekoma, do something like, Big Bear Mountain for me on a grander scale, maybe a,
Yeah.
adult version of that.
Yeah.
That's what I would love to see at Kings Island, personally.
That would be an awesome ride there. Something
Yeah.
like that on a
That's
bigger
my pick,
scale.
a Vekoma launch coaster, maybe a little more not family size. So moving on to our next park in the chain, because obviously we mentioned Carowinds, so we're going to head on down to the South and North Carolina borders.
They just got that flats package for aeronautical landing, and their last coaster was in 2019. team with Copperhead Strike.
Pre-pandemic there.
Yes, they are definitely in need of a new coaster, something exciting, something to bring in people, and just an ooh kind of thing, like Fury. Like,
I mean, yeah, but are you thinking more family oriented, or are you thinking extreme? Because they're top heavy there.
I think they could go with a family oriented, but
I'm saying
a little bit more
a
extreme.
GCI for sure would fit in at Carowinds right now. They need a wooden coaster, a family
Yes.
coaster. It knocks out all the markets there because, you know, something like Mystic Timbers at Kings Island is not too extreme. You see very young kids riding that all the time.
Absolutely, that would do awesome there.
It'd do perfect in that Carolina heat too, you know what I mean? Like, people
Yep.
would love that ride. It'd be great there. So that's something I think they should definitely look to do, you know, family coaster wise, but a little more extreme. Not necessarily a family coaster, but something that mixes both the crowd and, you know, the older people, so you can get a whole home run there. It'd be awesome. Or even like Ghost Rider or something, just anything, you know. A nice wooden coaster there would be super cool.
Because
Prowler at Worlds of Fun, you know, just something like that.
Hurler isn't cutting it.
Yeah, Herder definitely isn't cutting it there. So that's something I would like to see at Carowinds, a nice family wooden coaster there. Heck, you guys can call Gravity Group too. They're doing great with the retracts. Why don't you let them build something?
Yep.
Just saying. But now we're going to move on to our next parks that we think may get coasters in 2025. Now, this one may come as a little bit of a surprise to you guys because it's a park that hasn't gotten a whole lot of love since 2007. And yes, we're heading up to Minnesota and going to Valleyfair. So how do you feel about this one? And why do you think that they're going to be getting a coaster in 2025?
I think just the way that the pattern shows with the smaller parks, how they're doing it, and the fact that they're not going to do anything at Michigan's Adventure because of other things. So Valleyfair is definitely next on the block to get something. It's in an area that will pull some people because there isn't a whole lot around there. So
yeah, and speaking of the trend she mentioned earlier is obviously Worlds of Fun got their new coaster, the Zambezi Zinger replacement this year, which looks awesome. And then Dorney Park is getting a coaster in 2024. So, I mean, the trend just shows that some of the smaller parks are getting investments, and Valleyfair is, you know, part of the whole reason why there is a Cedar Fair thing. So, obviously, I think that they're going to be next to get some love, and that's a great thing because these parks pull great when they do these little investments. They get great returns on them, apparently. So,
they do.
Let's hope that trend continues post-pandemic and that these parks continue thriving because it's great to see smaller parks getting roller coasters.
Absolutely.
So, moving on to our next location, where can we see another roller coaster? Are we talking about Knott's Berry Farm here? Let's find out.
So it has been rumored that Knott's Berry Farms may be getting a Giga. That is all dependent on a lot of things that stem from everything around the park, from the residents to the main streets and
just
businesses and stuff like that.
The noise ordinances,
yes.
all these other things, because obviously, you know, on some of the roller coasters, they have covers over the drops so that noise is eliminated, and sand in some of the tubes to eliminate the B&M roar sound.
Right.
So that is something to take into mind. And they are also landlocked to the maximum there. I mean, they have to get super creative in order to do something. This has been rumored for years now. And it seems like plans have at least, you know, been proposed or presented to boards and whatnot. And it seems like they're moving through the motions to get stuff done, or, you know, maybe not. Who knows? You know, the city ordinances are kind of tough to work around, government red tape, all that other stuff. And obviously, the people who live near the amusement park, who bought their homes across the street from an amusement park, don't want to hear the noise. So, you know, buy your house right there.
Right there.
Buy your house right next to an amusement park and then complain about the noise. So that is part of the reason why. I don't mean to be too negative about it, but let's just hope that Knott sees something. I'm not necessarily sure that they will see it in 2025, but this is just, you know, an early speculation. If they get stuff rolling quick, maybe we'll see it, but potentially later on down the decade is my guess if they ever do see it. So moving on to the rest of the parks, we're not really sure if we'll see too many other coasters in the chain. Maybe Canada's Wonderland will get an investment, but they do get flats all the time.
Right.
It's a park we don't really know too much about, so we're not going to dive into that one too much. Michigan Adventure, as we stated earlier, will likely not be getting anything. Worlds of Fun is off the docket, in my opinion. Dorney Park will be off the docket. Cedar Point off the docket. So that's basically our coaster roundup of if anyone's going to get a roller coaster in 2025. California's Great America, I mean, what's going to happen there? That's still up in the air. It seems Cedar Fair is still putting some investment into it and intends to run it for a little bit. So we'll see there. And it seems like the county there wants the park to stay too. So hopefully we see some coaster investments there in the near future. But 2025 kind of
I do want to touch on one thing with Cedar Point in 2025. Tony Clark did say that there was nothing going into the Frontier Adventure area next year. He did not speculate to 2025, but nor did he not say anything was happening back there for 2025. But that does not mean it's a coaster. It could be another family area. Like
I still think I'm with you on that, but I think that might be down the line a little bit, especially right after Dragster. I don't know how much they're going to go back to back into the well and invest to it, but that is the area to look for the most going forward, I think.
I don't know. They went back to back on their restaurants.
Zinger restaurants. So let us know what you guys think. What coasters what parks are going to be getting coasters in 2025, I should say. What is your favorite park to visit? Let us know down in the comments. Obviously, we want to see where you guys are frequenting and what you want to see at these parks too, because this is just our opinions here, what we think or want to see at the parks. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. We love making all this content for you guys. We have a blast recording it, obviously, and being at the parks and meeting all of you is fantastic as well. And as always,
thank you for being a part of this spooky community
and for coaster ghosting with Ghoster Coasters. Have a great night, everybody.